I'm starting, huh? With this module number 6, energy efficient technologies in electrical systems. So there are a few energy efficient technologies that can be implemented in electrical systems. This is the 6th module. Like number 1 is your maximum demand controllers. So what does it say is that high tension consumers, they have to pay a maximum demand charge in addition to the usual charge for the number of units consumed. So as previously stated, that high tension consumers means big consumers, there is the industrial consumers. They basically have to pay the electrical tariff based on the kVA demand as well as on the kilowatt hour. So here high tension consumers have to pay a maximum demand charge in addition to the maximum demand charge means kVA, maximum demand kVA, in addition to the usual charge for the number of units consumed, that is kilowatt hours, kVA plus kilowatt hour. This charge is usually based on the highest amount of power. This charge is usually based on the highest amount of power used during some period, say 30 minutes during the metering month. So basically, the total charge that is based here is based on the highest amount of power that is consumed during certain period, and that can be say 30 minutes or even during the period of 1 hour or 2 hours like that. The maximum demand charge often represents a large proportion of the total bill and may be based on only one isolated 30-minute episode of high power use. So that can put a huge amount of tariff on the industrial consumers. So the maximum demand, there is KVA, the KVA charge. One second. Okay, so the maximum demand charge, it often represents a large proportion of the total bill. होना भी है because जब total bill ultimately electric का होगा उसमें maximum जो portion है या percentage है वो basically maximum demand charge का ही हो जाता है and ऊपर से ये maximum demand charge जो है it will be based on any particular slot of time in the month of metering. एंड जिस टाइम पे मैक्सिमम अमाउंट ऑफ पावर कंज्यूम किया जा रहा है उस स्लॉट को कंसीडर किया जाएगा. सो दैट्स व्हाई इज रिटन एज and may be based on only one isolated 30-minute episode of high power use. Considerable savings can be realized by monitoring power use and turning off or reducing non-essential loads during such periods of high power use. So basically, electricity बचत के लिए, savings के लिए, one can monitor the power consumption pattern and turn off the unnecessary loads or devices which are not required. So maximum demand controller is the device and is designed to meet the need of industries conscious of the value of load management. So basically maximum demand controller is a device and that is heavily used in the industries and establishments, and it has been taken with respect to take care of the load management. The proper operation of load management, because unnecessary load operation is also not good for the system, and otherwise unnecessarily high bill aa sakta hai. Alarm is sounded when demand approaches a preset value. So there is a certain preset value which should not be crossed. And as soon as the demand value approaches that preset value, at a certain point of time, alarm is sounded. If corrective action is not taken, the controller switches off non-essential loads in a logical sequence. So basically either turn off the load before the prerequisite time, there is the non-essential loads, otherwise the maximum demand control itself will take care for the turning off of such non-essential loads. This sequence and the switching of the non-essential loads is done in a logical sequence. This sequence is predetermined by the user and is programmed jointly by the user and the supplier of the device. So ये जो basically sequence है, logical sequence of turning off the loads, कि कौन सा non-essential load पहले off होगा, उसके बाद कौन सा non-essential load off होगा. So there is a logical sequence of this, and this logical sequence is predetermined by the user as well as the supplier of the device. The planned equipment selected for the load management are stopped and restarted as per as the desired load profile. Demand control scheme is implemented by using suitable control contactors. Audio and visual annexations could also be used. So there are various plant equipments, and those are the ones which take care of the load management, because एक तो load रहेगा, suppose three-phase induction motor is suppose running any kind of compressor. Now operation of the three-phase induction motor, that is, if it is required for turning off the three-phase induction motor, then that can be taken care of by the plant equipments which are only used for controlling and operation of the load management purposes. And those devices can be again restarted, and thanks to those plant equipments which are there selected, and they are the ones that can restart the loads when required as per the load profile. So as you can see here, we have the main demand controller set at the center stage. Okay, and here we can have the main feed disconnect. So this is a main feed disconnect which is connected to the utility meter pulse output, and that is basically fetched to the demand controller. And the main feed, if it is disconnected, then that signal can also be fetched to the demand controller. And the demand controller via these relay contacts is basically connected to all these various loads, and it can take care of as to when and where, at what point of time, which load needs to be switched off. And this entire operation can be taken or monitored via viewing a remote PC. Another one is like your automatic power factor controllers. As you can see, power factor is nothing but the ratio between kilowatt and kVA. And if power factor can be better controlled and regulated, then the unnecessary losses can be reduced, unnecessary current drawn can be reduced, penalties can be reduced, And if power factor is further improved, then that can reduce copper losses. Like there are various advantages, efficiency can be improved. So that's why power factor is such an important key factor. And for that, automatic power factor controllers can be also used. So various types of automatic power factor controllers are available with relay or microprocessor logic. Two of the most common controls are voltage control and kVAR control. So even for this power factor controllers, they have two sets of inputs, that is via voltage or via kVAR. kVAR means reactive power. First is like voltage control. So voltage alone can be used as a source of intelligence when the switched capacitors are applied at point where the circuit voltage decreases as circuit load increases. So as already we know that most of the loads nowadays are inductive loads. And when load increases, then there is a very much chance that voltage will drop, voltage will decrease. So at that point of time, we can switch on the capacitors. And these capacitors, what they do, they basically send leading wires, and these leading wires, they start improving the power factor, and as a result, current drawn on the unnecessary current drawn by the load reduces, and the voltage automatically improves. Okay. So generally where they are applied, the voltage should decrease as circuit load increases, and drop in voltage should be around 4 to 5% with increasing load. So basically, one thing should be taken care of is that when voltage drop happens due to load increment, then it has got a maximum limit, and it should be 4 to 5%. It should be regulated within 4 to 5%. Okay. Voltage is the most common type of intelligence used in substation applications when maintaining a particular voltage is of prime importance. And this type of control is independent of the load cycle. During light load time and low source voltage, this may give leading power factor at the substation, which is to be taken note of. So already we know that basically when leading bars and lagging bars, if they completely neutralize out each other, then that's when we get unity power factor. And further, if leading bars they exceed over the lagging bars, then we get a leading power factor. And leading power factor may reduce down the current pretty much, so that can be also taken care of. That should be taken note of. Another one is like kiloVAR, is reactive power control. Kilowatt sensitive controls are used at locations where the voltage level is close. As we already have seen that reactive power can also be effectively used. Reactive power is the one which is effectively used. Like previously we saw that capacitors were turned on. When capacitors are turned on, then they can supply leading reactive power that can negate out the lagging reactive power, and hence voltage can be improved. Okay, so here that further thing is stated out. kiloVAR control alag se separately also reactive power, like we can have various reactive power devices like FACTS. If you remember FACTS, we had STATCOM, we had SVC, then other schemes like TSC, TCR, only TSC or TCR, those can be used for reactive power regulation. So those can be also used here. So kilowatt sensitive controls are used at locations where the voltage level is closely regulated and not available as a control variable. So here the kilowatt sensitive controls which are there, voltage level is regulated and it is not a control variable. That is, we do not use the voltage as a control variable here. Capacitors can be switched to respond to a decreasing power factor. So whenever the power factor drops down, capacitors can be turned on as a result of change in system loading, because system loading ki wajah se basically power factor starts reducing down, voltage starts reducing down. So at that point of time, we can turn on the capacitors. This type of control can also be used to avoid penalty on low power factor by adding capacitors in steps as the system power factor begins to lag behind the desired value. So basically, इसमें क्या होता है कि basically ये जो control है, this control can be also used to avoid penalty on low power factor, because already we know that industries, they get heavily penalized if they keep on operating at low power factors. If they keep on operating at low power factor situations, then they can be imposed with heavy penalties. So that's why it is better to use capacitors in steps, and because otherwise the system power factor should not lag behind the desired value. And in order to improve that, in order to take it close to the desired value, capacitors can be turned on. किलोवाट कंट्रोल रिक्वायर्स टू इनपुट्स. ये जो किलोवाट कंट्रोल है इसमें दो इनपुट का जरूरत होता है. एक होता है करंट, दूसरा डेफिनेटली वोल्टेज, एंड वो आता है इनकमिंग फीडर से जो सबस्टेशन से निकलता है. सो सबस्टेशन से जो फीडर निकलेगा वो जाएगा डायरेक्टली कंट्रोल रूम में. कंट्रोल रूम में जो किलोवाट कंट्रोल का पैनल है वहाँ पे ये दोनों इनपुट जाएगा, दैट इज वोल्टेज एंड करंट, and which are then fed to the power factor correction mechanism, either the microprocessor or the relay. So via programming or relay contact, the power factor can be basically corrected out. But for that, the power factor control device should be fetched with the proper inputs. So like this is the power factor. As you can see, 0.96 is very good. And here there are buttons via which you can reset the power factor, set the power factor, that is set the prerequisite value of power factor, reset the prerequisite value of power factor. Then if you want to raise the power factor, you can go to the up button. If you want to drop down the power factor, you can go to the down button, like that. Now various panels have various types of devices. This is one example of that. An automatic power factor control relay. It controls the power factor of the installation by giving signals to switch on or off power factor correction capacitors. So basically एक होता है automatic power factor control relay. तो basically capacitors के through हम लोग power factor को improve कर सकते हैं. अभी ज़्यादा भी अगर capacitors हम लोग load कर देंगे, ज़्यादा power factor भी improve हो जाएगा, leading power factor भी आ जाएगा, then that is also not desirable. So at that point of time, we need to disconnect the capacitors. So that's why automatic power factor control relay can be used, where it can control the power factor by giving signals by which we can switch on or off the connections of the power factor correction capacitors. Relay is the brain of the control circuit and needs contactors of appropriate rating for switching on or off the capacitors. So relays act as the switches by which if the relay is on, capacitor is on. If the relay is off, capacitor is off. There is a built-in power factor transducer, and this transducer measures the power factor of the installation and it converts it to a DC voltage of appropriate polarity. This is compared with a reference voltage, which can be set by means of a knob calibrated in terms of power factor. So basically, there is a power factor transducer also, and it can also measure the power factor of the installation, and it basically converts the power factor into required DC voltage, and then via feedback loop, that DC voltage is sent to a comparator, and in the comparator, a fixed reference voltage is already set. And at that comparator, this DC voltage, which is fed via the feedback loop, is compared with the reference voltage at the comparator, and the error is measured. Error voltage is measured, and based on the value of the error voltage, then further corrective measures can be taken out. So when the power factor falls below setting, the capacitors are switched on in sequence. Definitely has to be. And how they can measure it? Via the transducer, which converts the power factor into DC voltage, which for test and measurement purposes can be sent via the feedback loop to the comparator, where it is compared with the reference voltage, and error voltage is taken out, and one monitors the error voltage, and by which they can sense whether the power factor is falling down or whether it is rising up. So when the power factor falls below setting, the capacitors are switched on in sequence. The relays are provided with first in, first out, FIFO, and first in, last out. This sequence with which they are provided, capacitors controlled by the relay must be of the same rating, and they are switched on or off in linear sequence. So basically, whatever are the capacitors that are used in parallel, all of them should be of same rating. And there is a sequence, there is a linear sequence like on numbering base, based on numbering base, because they are of same rating. So based on numbering, basically they can be turned on or off, which is in linear sequence. To prevent overcorrection hunting, a dead band is provided. This setting determines the range of phase angle over which the relay does not respond. So basically, it may so happen that overcorrection of power factor may happen. That is, जितना मुझे ज़रूरत है उससे ज़्यादा ही power factor highly improve हो गया. So for that there is a dead band, and this is a setting. And ये dead band क्या करता है? It basically determines the range of phase angle over which the relay does not respond. Only when the power factor goes beyond this range, the relay acts. So उसके लिए भी एक relay है, ये dead band है, so उसके लिए एक relay है, and ये relay जब तक dead band के नीचे है, ये relay respond नहीं करता है, लेकिन जैसे dead band को cross करता है power factor, then and there relay can act. And when the load is low, the effect of the capacitors is more pronounced and may lead to hunting. Under lightly loaded conditions, there is, if you remember, Ferranti effect. In case of Ferranti effect, what was the main issue was that under lightly loaded or no loaded conditions, जब line पे कोई load है ही नहीं almost, तो उस time sending end voltage and receiving end voltage can become very equal to each other, and at that point of time, capacitors, if they are turned on in heavy numbers, then they can send or inject reactive power, and that reactive power can basically ensure that the receiving end voltage not only becomes totally equal to sending end voltage, but it may exceed the sending end voltage, and that is bad because it can make the voltage regulation negative. So that is why under light load conditions, it is better to have a proper check on the number of capacitors connected. At most 1 or 2 can be connected, rest are not required normally. Okay. So when the load is low, the effect of the capacitors is more pronounced and may lead to hunting. There is overcorrection hunting, overcorrection of power factor hunting. Okay. Under current blocking, there is low current out. Under current blocking, shuts off the relay, switching off all the capacitors one by one in sequence when load current is below setting. Okay. So basically, load current, ये तो अगर heavily loaded conditions है, load current high होगा, और when heavily loaded conditions है, load current high होता है, उस time जो receiving end पे voltage है, that can get depressed and may fall down. तो उसको उठाने के लिए at that point of time connect the prerequisite number of capacitors which will send the required amount of reactive power, and that can improve the receiving end voltage and power factor. But under lightly loaded and no loaded conditions, definitely the load current is much lower. The load current is much lower, and the load current is compared with the setting. So if the load current is continuously lower than the setting, then it is already noted off that it is under lightly loaded, no loaded conditions. And at this point of time, we should not turn on as many capacitors as possible, rather shut off the capacitors. And those capacitors can be turned off in linear sequence via relays. Okay. Then special timing sequences ensure that capacitors are fully discharged before they are switched in. Now, again, we may need to switch in the capacitors back to the system, and should be ensured that the excessive charge that are stored in capacitors, they should be fully discharged before they are turned in. Otherwise, if they are turned in with excessive capacitors, then that can lead to harmonics, and it can lead to dangerous amount of transients. Transients means sudden rise in voltage over a very short period of time, and that can hamper insulation, and that can hamper the operation of devices. Okay. So this avoids dangerous over voltage transients. That is at that point of time when we are turning in capacitors, then before turning in capacitors, we should ensure that they have been fully discharged, and in order to avoid over voltage transients. The solid state indicating lamps, that is LEDs, they display various functions that the operator should know, and also indicate each capacitor switching stage. So when the capacitors are turned on, then the turning on of capacitors is usually indicated by LEDs, and the operator should have proper knowledge that which LED is for which capacitor, like that. Okay. Then another one is like your IPFC, that is Intelligent Power Factor Controller. Now this controller determines the rating of capacitance connected in each step during the first hour of its operation and stores them in memory. So intelligent power factor controller, that is IPFC का काम क्या है? This is a controller, and it basically determines the rating of capacitance connected in each step during the first hour of its operation and stores them in memory. So basically, rating of capacitances is usually stored in the memory of IPFC, and based on this memory measurement, the IPFC switches on the most appropriate steps. There is agar suppose there are various ratings of capacitors which are connected, and we have to accordingly adjust and use various capacitors based on their ratings. Then at that point of time, IPFC, that is intelligent power factor controller, can come in handy. And what it does is that it stores or memorizes the ratings of the capacitances, and based on its memory, it will basically take a decision that which capacitor to turn on based on its rating. So thereby over usage, that is if a low capacitor is required and at that point of time I utilize a high capacitor, then over power factor correction hunting problem may occur. So in that way, this situation can be avoided. कि जितना amount of rating of capacitor is required, उतना use करो, उससे ज़्यादा नहीं, उससे कम भी नहीं. So for that, efficient usage of or efficient handling and management of such capacitors can be done via IPFC. There is intelligent power factor control. Okay. So I hope it was clear to you today up to this student, because my net connection has gone away. I don't know whether I'm online or not. So I'm taking just the attendance, and we shall continue with the next class. Thank you.